Everyone, so this is the summary of the poem At an Inn by Thomas Hardy. So these are the important points. This poem was published in the collection Wessex Poems in 1898. This poem is about a visit that the speaker made with his female companion to an inn in Winchester. This poem recounts poet's own platonic love for a woman, Florence Henniker. Here the speaker talks about how he and his female friend were mistaken as lovers and were treated very warmly there. So this is the text of the poem. When we as strangers sought their catering care, veiled smiles bespoke their thought of what we were. They warmed as they opened us more than friends that we had all resigned for love's dear ends. So when the poem opens, the speaker reminds his female friend of the time when they stayed together at an inn. They were strangers to the caretakers of the inn who were kind and hospitable towards them. The staff of the inn assumed mistakenly that the speaker and the lady with him were a couple. The speaker could notice their warm reaction towards them and also their hidden smiles. They had thought that the speaker and his lady friend were lovers and were committed to each other in love. And that swift sympathy with living love, which quakes the world maybe, the spheres above, made them our ministers, moved them to say, "Ah God, that bliss like theirs would flush our day." So in these lines, speaker says that the staff members became nicer and kind to them as if they were also enjoying the presence of real love around them, that kind of love which makes the world more beautiful and vibrant and also makes planet move in the universe. The workers of the inn tended them very nicely and even wished to God to bless them with the same kind of love as theirs. And we were left alone as love's own pair, yet never the love light shone between us there, but that which chilled the breath of afternoon and palsied unto death the pain flies tune. So in these lines, speaker says that after that episode, the speaker and the lady were left alone by the staff members of the inn as if they were love's favorite couple. But speaker says that they were not in love with each other at that time. They could not feel the warmth of love and the air was cold around them. The excitement that the workers feel for this couple dies like a fly when the lovers didn't feel any emotions of love between each other. Come to the next lines. The kiss their zeal foretold and now deemed come came not within his hold, love lingered numb. Why cast he on our port a bloom not ours? Why shaped us for his port in after hours? So in these lines, speaker says that the inmates were also imagining that they would kiss each other, but they didn't. They were together, but still they could not take advantage of the situation because they didn't feel any excitement of love between them. In the next lines, the speaker asks a question that why would God cast a glow of love on themselves if they didn't experience love? Next, he again asks a question that why did God play with them as if they were toys that evening? As we seemed we were not that day afar, and now we seem not what we aching are. O severing sea and land, O laws of man, ere death once let us stand as we stood then. So in these lines, speaker says that they were assumed to be deeply in love with each other, but they were not in love with each other at that time. Next, he says that at that time they were not what they are today. Now situation has changed. At that time they entered in the inn like a couple but didn't feel love for each other. But in present situation they are no longer a couple but still they feel love for each other and they are pining for being with each other. But now they are separated from each other both by land and the sea and also by society's rules. So at the very end, the speaker wants the lady to stand with him the way they were standing as a couple at that inn, at least before they die. So he is getting nostalgic about the time that they had spent together at an inn and they would have made love to each other. And here the poem ends.